project, Lifecycle Management of Pesticides and Disposal of Persistent Obsolete Pesticides, which is now closed, was the first of its kind and operated in 5 countries: Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan and Türkiye. Working through 4 integrated components, the project comprehensively tackled threats by safeguarding and disposing of obsolete pesticide stocks. By strengthening legal frameworks, it built sustainable national systems for pesticide regulation. The project promoted reduced pesticide use through safer agricultural practices, while fostering knowledge sharing and engagement among all stakeholders, thus ensuring lasting safety for public health and the environment.
With support of Global Environment Facility, we started a project on addressing the issue of obsolete pesticides. We learned how important this subject is for the population and also for the nature, for soil and water. We addressed the legal issues. We promoted the integrated pest management, soil remediation, and also we managed to dispose obsolete pesticides.
Persistent obsolete pesticides are banned, expired or unusable toxic chemicals that remain in storage or leak into the environment, contaminating soil and water, posing severe health and ecological risks, and which require safe management and disposal. As a legacy of Soviet agricultural practices, the majority of these are in the Central Asia region.
This was the first project in Central Asia to manage pesticide issues. And we built the foundation to continue working in this area. To solve these problems is a responsibility of all of us. We cannot think that pesticide is just the responsibility of the government or technicians or just NGOs. It's our responsibility to have better environment and better life for our new generations.
Through the project, over 360 tons of toxic, obsolete pesticides have been safeguarded and managed, protecting communities and ecosystems. To prevent recurrence, a robust regulatory foundation has been established, harmonising national laws with international standards and implementing a modern pesticide tracking system. On the ground, sustainable change is taking root. Through integrated pest management and demonstration farms, pesticide use has been significantly reduced, supported by the training of farmers, experts and students. Crucially, the human health impact was prioritised. The project pioneered a collaboration with regional ministries of health to train around 180 healthcare professionals in diagnosing and treating pesticide poisoning. This effort was informed by a groundbreaking regional exposure assessment involving over 2,000 farmer interviews, which identified high-risk areas and vulnerable groups. To ensure lasting impact, key lessons have been integrated international programs supported by a regional knowledge network, ToxicNet, and newly translated technical guidelines, securing a safer future for the region.
When the Soviet Union ended in the early 90s, the control was lost over hundreds of thousands of tons of these pesticides. They were forgotten in stores, the roofs were crumbling, rain was washing out the pesticides, or were they simply buried into shallow trenches and enter the environment, which obviously creates heavy impacts to the environment, to biota and to public health.
These abandoned pesticides lie in a derelict warehouse in a town in northern Kazakhstan. In Kazakhstan, a national inventory of 900 sites revealed 165 contaminated with obsolete pesticides. This site, which holds 7 tons of such pesticides, is now part of a project to safeguard the materials for subsequent environmentally sound disposal.
И будем говорить, что наши коллеги, благодаря данному проекту, проезжали по местности, проводили обучающие семинары, за что мы благодарны проекту, чтобы наше население было более осведомлено о той работе и в целом о том вреде, который могут ему нанести данные отходы.
These are the ruins of a former Soviet pesticide storage facility on the outskirts of Samasai village, near the country's largest city, Almaty. Shreds of plastic and coloured stains on the contaminated soil are signs of its former use. Phytoremediation experts from the Institute of Plant Protection and Quarantine are growing different plants to test their effectiveness in removing persistent obsolete pesticides contamination from the soil.
В течение 2 лет мы провели полевое испытание растений, обладающих фиторемиционным потенциалом, и обрабатывали почву микроорганизмами-деструкторами на сильно, слабо и средне загрязненных почвах, где на основе этого анализа мы установили, что наши микроорганизмы-деструкторы обладают способностью к восстановлению загрязненной почвы до 93%.
Here at this government laboratory, scientists develop microorganisms for the bioremediation of polluted soil. And importantly, this work in Kazakhstan is now being shared locally and regionally.
Мы подготовили методологическую рекомендацию, которая может быть масштабирована для других регионов и Казахстана, и для других стран.
In Kyrgyzstan, the military are working with the project to repackage 90 tons of obsolete pesticides from this old warehouse and are moving it for temporary storage into these containers for future destruction.
Процесс переупаковки, который здесь происходит, он происходит абсолютно в соответствии с международными стандартами и методологиями ФАО. В прошлом году солдаты Министерства обороны прошли тренинг, как делать переупаковку.
Далее вот эти военнослужащие будут привлекаться в других мероприятиях по устаревшим пестицидам, то есть у нас создался такой национальная команда по переупаковке пестицидов. Это тоже очень хороший результат.
The project not only advanced the management of obsolete pesticides, but also delivered key achievements, including a new digital pesticide registration system in Kyrgyzstan, established as a regional model, and the widespread encouragement of integrated pest management, or IPM, practices.
Within Kyrgyzstan, we have achieved a lot. We worked with 100 students for 3 years, training them on IPM practices, and also we created some field trials as well.
These students from the Kyrgyz National Agrarian University are being instructed in IPM.
В нашей стране в советское время использовали в большинстве случаев химические методы борьбы и ограничения вредителей и болезней. Мы сейчас здесь пытаемся студентов обучать интегрированным методам защиты растений.
Запах көрінері, біз мұны азыр не қылауыз? Бұл жаққа, ошының запахын әлі келеді. Азыр біз тегіл жаққа барып келгічекті, бұл жаққа уже түшіп қалыш керек та.
Келечекте бізге качественный урожай алыш үшін біз интегрированный метод защитаны қолданыш керекпіз. Ал үшін феромонный ловушкаларды қойыш керекпіз. Су жақтан дағы, бүт жақтан жақшы қараш керекпіз.
This derelict former pesticide warehouse in Tajikistan is in an area dedicated to cotton production. Following international standards, FAO is launching a critical remediation project in this area. The initiative is designed to be an example of best practice for the nation, catalysing a countrywide effort to address the urgent threat posed by some 200 mini landfills, many found within residential communities.
Based on our survey, we found several hotspots with pure materials, bags, and the whole topsoil of the whole site was contaminated. There are other sources. For instance, the buildings that were here formerly and walls, you see they are soaking with pesticides. We still have to take off the plaster, but the walls are gone and the floor is gone. So that was also a source of contamination.
Once packed into 30-litre plastic containers for safe storage, 33 tonnes of obsolete pesticide and around 5,150 tonnes of polluted soil were excavated and securely isolated in a storage facility, which was upgraded by FAO, along with the construction of a new storage annex with the capacity to store up to 1,000 tonnes of obsolete pesticides. In Tajikistan, the pilot cleanup of this one site has established a model for remediating 200 similar landfills. And now that the danger of contaminated soil has been eliminated, new possibilities to use this space for agriculture have emerged.
مقصد اساسی ما همین زمین ما استادگیم در حالین همین ما 2 متر 2.5 متر خاکش هم میگیریم. اینجا هم نسیگه گرم خونه لیمون زمانوی این هم شما دوریم 2-3 تا لیمونر همین خیلی کرده منیم همین خاکی همیره بعد نسیگه اوجا میبریم اسکلادی ادخ میکرد جو زرمو این خاکی توزه رو اوجا میبریم همونجا بعد گرم خونه منیم گرم خونه اوجا روی زمینی میشه و این 2-2.5 متر چقدر میشه.
So that's the story in short. So these are hotspots.
We have today managed to reach a milestone. We are remediating a site which will hopefully open new opportunities for the people who live in this community and allow them to start using the land which was previously inaccessible.
The project dedicated more than a year of technical support, helping Tajikistan's successful ratification of the Rotterdam Convention in 2024. This legally binding treaty protects against the international trade of hazardous chemicals, including pesticides. Azerbaijan also joined the convention in 2025. In Azerbaijan, over 200 tons of leaking liquid pesticides have been repackaged and now are temporarily stored until final destruction at this site near the village of Jangi. The analysis of samples and repackaging was carried out by local specialists.
Our main idea was to find out the DDT level and the chlorine level, because in the future these pesticides will go to the cementing area for burning. We took the samples from the Jangi area. It was quite dangerous, and we brought it to the laboratory and provided laboratory analysis and gave the final report to the FAO.
Computer programmers work remotely from this office in the capital on the pesticide waste management system for materials stored at Jangi.
Burada biz anbarlarımızın və Jangi pestisid poligonunu görürük. Həm xəritədə vizual olaraq, eyni şəkildə də vektor şəkildə biz göstəririk. Və bizim wastelərimiz daxil olduqdan sonra biz onlara QR kod və yaxud barkod veririk ki, hansı ki sən hansı anbarda qalacaqsan və müəyyən qurumların təsdiqindən keçirdikdən sonra artıq biz bu tullantıların poligona daxil olmasına icazə veririk.
National capacities for IPM were also enhanced by training extension agents and conducting IPM trials for key crops. Technical guidelines were developed for potato, cotton and tomato. In Türkiye, the project ensured the safe disposal of 14 tons of unregistered, illegal or expired pesticides, which were confiscated during routine government patrols. As persistent obsolete pesticides pose less of a problem in Türkiye, here the project's main focus has been on strengthening the capacity for sound management of pesticides through IPM in Isparta, a region which is responsible for a quarter of the nation's apple production.
Bölge üreticisi öncelikle entegre mücadelenin ne olduğunu anladı ve entegre mücadelenin etkisini gördü ve buna inandı. Bunun sonucunda hem pestisit kullanımı azaldı bölgede, bölge üreticilerinin pestisit kullanımının %70 oranında azaldığını gördük.
Here, where 90% of local activity focuses on the production and distribution of apples, IPM is proving to be a practical and successful approach to developing a long-term sustainable future for the region.
Projeye yaklaşık 4 senedir devam ediyoruz. Feromon çubukları takınca ilaç hiç atmadım bu bahçeye zaten. Verimimizde de çok bir sıkıntı yaşamadık. Yani iş kurdu vuruğu da olmadı.
Bunlara çubukları, ağaçları bağlıyoruz iş kurduğu için. Faydasını gördük. Kendi bahçemde de kullanıyorum. Başkalarının bahçesinde takıyoruz. Yani faydasını görüyoruz.
Integrated pest management continues to support healthy crop production and improve the environment in all of the project's 5 countries, while the life cycle management of pesticides is improved and the long-term work to eliminate the threat of persistent obsolete pesticides also continues.
There is a still long way to go, but one thing is clear. Managing pesticides and reducing pesticide use is possible. Together, we are proving that a cleaner, healthier future for all of our countries and people is within reach.